It's really important that you spend a lot of time on the strategy before you get to execution. Otherwise, you're going to spend probably just as much time on execution, if not more, because you're going to be strategizing along the way or trying to plan, like just-in-time planning and all of these types of things. So your execution time will actually go up if you don't do it in this fashion. Hey, I'm Spencer Powell, and welcome back to Builder Funnel TV, where remodelers and custom builders tune in to grow their businesses. Here at Builder Funnel, we're focused on a strategy-first approach before you jump into tactics. And as always, you can join Remodeler Growth Community. We'll drop the link below, and you can also go to remodelercommunity.com. When you join, you'll also get lifetime access to Builder Funnel Academy. All right, so today's topic is how much time should it take to implement a marketing plan? Here at Builder Funnel, we create what are called remodeler marketing blueprints, which is basically the strategy document and layout of the marketing plan. And the question is, okay, if I get one of these plans or I've done some strategy work, how long is it going to take to actually execute a marketing plan if I want to do that in-house? So as I was thinking about this question, really what it comes down to is kind of trying to bucket your time into strategy time and then execution time. And so I didn't plan it this way, but it's interesting because you've probably heard of the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, but generally 20% of your efforts lead to 80% of the results. And I was looking at the time that we typically put into a strategy piece. It's about 100 hours. And then if you look at how much time it will actually take to execute that plan over the course of an entire year, it worked out to about 15 to 20% of your time is spent on strategy, and then the rest of it is spent on execution. And so what it really told me is, again, this law applies to a lot of different things, but it's really important that you spend a lot of time on the strategy before you get to execution. Otherwise, you're going to spend probably just as much time on execution, if not more, because you're going to be strategizing along the way or trying to plan, like just-in-time planning and all of these types of things. So your execution time will actually go up if you don't do it in this fashion. So if we think about it from that perspective, generally a good ballpark is about 10 hours a week. So you'll be looking at about 520 hours in a year to execute on a strategy plan. Again, just using the ones that we put together, which are generally digitally focused and cover the full funnel process, everywhere from traffic driving, lead conversion, lead nurturing, the analytics and reporting and analysis piece of it, and then again, over the course of an entire year. So that's going to be things like writing blogs, doing SEO work on the site, doing email marketing, doing social media, running some paid ads. Those are kind of the tactics that all fall into that holistic strategy. And so the next question becomes, okay, 10 hours a week, that's definitely a time commitment. Will that go up or down over time? And generally, it actually goes down a little bit, unless you're trying to grow really, really aggressively and you're saying, hey, I've got kind of this same plan. Generally, over the first 6 months, there's a pretty big learning curve. You're learning how to do these things. How do I do blogging and write for the user, and also write it so that I rank for these keywords, and then also write it so that I start capturing leads that hit my blog and did a Google search, found the blog, and then they'll actually convert into a lead. So it takes some time to learn some of those things, but generally as you hit that 6-month mark, your time might go into that 7 to 8 hours a week, and you'll get more efficient with the actual tasks that you're doing. And then as you go past the year mark, you can get closer to that, 4 to 5 hours a week, kind of a half day a week. Once you've got everything kind of optimized, generally that's going to be a year 2 and beyond thing, because you're adjusting your strategy and you're building off of that first year's success. So that's a good estimate in terms of what it will take. You figure 10 hours a week, you can fade it down to maybe close to 4 or 5 hours a week over the course of a year, and that's going to be about 80% of your time spent, and then 20% roughly of your time should be spent on actually planning the year out, working on the strategy. Where are you today? where are you going, and again, uncovering the answers to a lot of those questions, which are, what are the gaps, what are we missing for content, who are we trying to attract, where does our ideal audience live online, all of those types of things, and then that forms the execution plan from there. So the strategy piece is also going to include the who, what, the why, the when. You've kind of figured out all those details so that when you actually move into execution and you're looking at a month, say it's July, you're going to say, okay, here's the pieces of content I need to create, but I know exactly what the title is. I've got some bullet points around it. I know exactly what it is, why I'm doing it, and it's all teed up. Now I just need to go do it. And so that's what we want to get to from a point of the strategy piece is going to create that level of detail in the execution plan. That way, when you get to execution, you can just go and you can be focused on just executing at a high level and not stopping and thinking, well, what is this the right topic? Why am I doing this? You've already done that planning. And then the piece that you're going to roll underneath that is, okay, now I've executed for 6 months. What did the results show? Do we need to make any adjustments? If something's really taking off, maybe we actually just want to shift some more time to that area and take it away from something else. But those should be minor adjustments to the strategy over time, and then you're going to look at it again going into the following year. And so that allows you to time batch your activities a lot more effectively, and then when you're focused on execution, you can just execute. And I found that having the strategy alone is really, really powerful because you're confident in the activities, but also being able to break apart those activities and say, okay, we're planning here, and you can be focused around that, and so it creates a better plan. And then when you're executing, you can just be focused on that, and you actually execute more efficiently and at a higher level. So I'm going to wrap this up with the old adage, or that old story about the plumber. And he shows up at the house, and there's a problem, something's leaking, and 10 minutes later, everything's solved, and he's like, here's a bill for $200. And the guy says to him, but you were only here 10 minutes. Like, why is that $200? And he says, well, you're not paying me for my time to fix the problem. You're basically paying me for the 15 years I've been doing this to know exactly where to look and how to solve the problem in 10 minutes. Because if you took an amateur in there and just said, hey, go figure it out, might have made the problem worse, or the problem might have been fixed in a whole day or 2 days or a week, who knows. And so just remember that having that expertise and the strategy applied on the front end will make the execution faster, and you'll go a lot farther. All right, that's what I got for you today. And with that being said, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.